jog around the room and see how your pelvic bone feels. You feel like being moving. Laugh loud. Do you feel anything? Is all your food coming out of the mouth or is going back down there? What do you feel? Come on, I want people to move around. Not just stationary, you got to go. Move. I'll put some music on. Let's see who does it well without stopping, without a break. Yeah? Yeah, let's wake up now. Everybody can hear it? Come on, move everyone. Let's see what the neighborhood. How's your feet doing? How's your bowel doing? How's your stomach and the core doing? Come on, 5 more minutes. Come on, faster. I want faster movement. Come on. Yeah? Yeah, come on, fast. It shouldn't be no post lunch. Come on, we need some exercise. How can you tell to sit down? Let's move. Now start laughing loud and run. Laugh loud. Laugh and run. Francis, I'm not saying you run. Come on, laugh and run. Yeah. 2 join the great train. Very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Who's out of breath?
They should have brain.
Who's out of breath here? Right. Who feels like wants to actually throw up or wants to go to food or wants to go and just take a little break? No one. So everybody's got strong core and great pelvic floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? So how many of us are actually talking about mumps here today? How many of us didn't talk about mumps here? We talk about birth, we talk about belly, we talk about bumps, we talk about baby. But how many of us did think and talk about mumps? How many? We did talk about mumps today?
No,
Just the mumps? We did talk about mumps. Or we just talked about baby?
no.
We talked about mumps? So, what's the topic which we talk about here is heal the gap. It has to do a double meaning here. The gap between all our care providers or the healthcare practitioners, which includes your OBGYN, the midwives, your physiotherapists. So I'm Dr. Anjali. I'm one of the physiotherapists who's trained in the UK. I've been dealing a lot with prenatal and postnatal moms, mostly emphasizing that every mom deserves a life to be led in an active pattern. Just becoming a mom doesn't mean that she's just having to look after the baby. She has to do what she was doing before delivery. That is the whole sole goal of this talk today. So how many of you can really relate, who are moms here, who can relate that maybe you might have gone back to your old body image, but how many of you think that you feel the same from inside? You do feel some kind of a weakness. You do feel it?
Yeah.
So it's an interactive session. I'll be talking, I'll be asking you questions. Tell me, Julie, how do you feel it? You feel that you're the same Julie? Yes?
Sorry, he was just talking to me about the program.
Right. So, Francis, do you feel Julie's still the same? Then celebrating and post-delivery? You're right. How many women have you seen that they are after giving birth? How many of you? They're all the same.
No.
You are fit, in fact. Divya. Yeah? How many of you?
Same in what sense are you Yeah.
So you might feel that you want to run a marathon, but something stops you.
Are you
I
talking
never
about
wanted
fitness?
to run a
Fitness,
marathon.
you can run a marathon without peeing and without pooping
I
sometimes.
couldn't run a marathon even earlier. So
Even earlier. So women as a whole are running a marathon in their daily activities, which could be their work life, house life, or whatever they're doing. There has to be a balance maintained, but the body definitely changes after the birth. And what we are not looking into, that is what I'll be talking about today. So here's a gap. What do you think is a gap about?
Diastasis.
Wow, who guessed it?
Diastasis rente?
Yeah?
If you press play.
project this
Right.
slide, the show first.
Yes.
No, because it won't fit on the screen. It's
Oh, okay.
a technical problem.
Right. So I'm also into childbirth, education, also into physical fitness for like sports persons, which involves women as a whole, women athletes as a whole. One of them is Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu. We look after their functional training and functional training of the core, which is for their pelvic floor. We also look after the pain management for moms prenatally, postnatally, deal with every kind of musculoskeletal pains which a mom comes to the clinic during her prenatal and antenatal screens. Very important to mom to get out of any kinds of pain before she actually goes into an eventful birth. Right? So today's agenda will be talking about, let's look at the first stage of women's health. What do you think we are not looking into now? Postnatal phase, how many of us really concentrate on the postnatal phase? Hi Indy, you missed out the session of jogging. How many of us actually understanding the challenges considering the postnatal care? You do. Thanks Indy, thank you. I want more hands to be lifted by the end of the talk. Best practices and guidance which involves postnatal care, case study which I'll be looking at, and call for action. So if a postnatal mom comes to you complaining of any back pain, what do? Illy,
You empathize.
you empathize. But that is some kind of an emotional balance you gave it to her. What else can you do?
I don't blame myself.
I refer her to a body worker and also do cranial psychotherapy.
Awesome, very good,
Relaxation therapy.
very good.
Belly binding.
Awesome, that was the answer also I was looking for. Anything else?
Hot water bottles.
What about heat? But does heat work for everybody?
No.
For which kind of body will it work?
Or kapha.
Yeah, so that's the missing link here. We need to understand every woman doesn't have the same ligaments. Some ligaments are loose, some are tight. So many of them might need a hot pack, many of them might not need a hot pack. So we need to analyze everybody and every woman differently. So one size doesn't fit all. That is the way I think we can go forward. So women's health and picture. What do we see here? Can somebody tell me?
Pelvic rotation.
Pelvic rotation out here. So you see the figure 1, the lady with a small girl with the mirror, right?
Image changing.
And then you see a period of pregnancy. And then what do you see? The last picture.
She's still
Menopause.
Menopause. Wow. What are we missing here? So we have heard there's a menopause clinic, there's a PCOD clinic, there's an antenatal clinic. Luckily, I heard from someone who's postnatal clinics. Are we triggering or we are asking women the questions which every woman needs to be heard? Because nowadays, I'm practicing in Hyderabad, it's like a tsunami of people, women standing in my clinic just coming for postnatal management, which has been missed for maybe 15-20 years. A dysfunctional core, a dysfunctional pelvic floor, women are coming and asking for help. They are coming with a suitcase full of files. They've gone to a neurosurgeon, a musculoskeletal physiotherapist, orthopedics, has undergone knee replacements, but to no use. Why so? Let's look at the bigger picture. Now this lady who has been in pain has developed an emotional pain, which Francis will deal into later. So an emotional pain which she has now of 15 years of pain history, a dysfunctional core, she's not being productive as a mom to the kids also. She has a guilt conscience because she's saying, I'm not 100% mom. So are we just looking at birth and baby, or are we looking at a mom who's productive enough to return back to her normal day-to-day activities without pain and without guilt? Right? So we are missing the postnatal picture here. Very much every clinic in Hyderabad or across the world should be having something in postnatal clinics. This is my appeal to all the clinicians and the healthcare practitioners present here, the midwives. Please counsel your patients and your moms, the postnatal moms and the prenatal moms, that they need to get help. It's very easy to get help by a pelvic floor physiotherapist. Very much being done in the UK and the US, very much this kind of techniques are being followed, but the referral channels are a bit of a mess, because not one woman who has come and seen me from the UK said she's ever been referred by the GP to a pelvic floor physiotherapist. Why so? Is it cost effective, or is it cost too expensive for a mother to go and undergo such kind of treatments? It is basically limitation of time, because the growing need of baby growing, breastfeeding times, the mother is also having too much work responsibilities, added to having taken a 6-month maternity leave. So we need to address it from the time we are meeting them in the antenatal period, because then you're creating a goal setting for her lifelong, that you need to see a physio in these many weeks, in these many months, right? So let's add another picture here. Let's all visualize here. What do we see in puberty? Our hormones are all rebellious. How many of us were rebels? Yeah, we were. And as we went into pregnancy, we were all dreaming about having a beautiful baby. Right? Kalyani, as she mentioned, visualize, you kind of imagine good thoughts. You kind of go into a dream world. Postnatal phase, she's in a blur. She is all confused. Emotionally, she's in pain, added responsibility. But if we give a body pain being not addressed, it's an added minus point to her recovery. And menopause, of course, she's cranky and she is all thinking about her hormones, right? But what we are missing here is we have addressed puberty, we all address in the OBGYN clinics, we always address pregnancy, we always address menopause. What we don't address is postnatal phase. So we just have to think a little thing. So the new bubble to burst is the postnatal mom, who is sleep deprived, depressed, and in pain. What could be the signs of pain? What kind of pains have you heard of women talk about? Back pain, the common back pain. Any tailbone pain? Tailbone pain, shoulder pain, headaches, wrist pains. What else? Bladder bowel, incontinence issues. Not able to withstand hard work. Whenever she bends down, she feels there is a back which is kind of dislocating. Right? What else? A mummy pooch which doesn't go away, which is the biggest concern nowadays because of wrong breastfeeding techniques and not sitting properly and not maintaining a good posture. The biggest cause of diastasis arising now among the moms. And of course our lifestyle, which doesn't involve good diet, adequate sleep. If olden zamane mein, like in olden times, we used to say mom needs to rest 3 months. Why was the reason of resting? because her tissues need to heal, and she needs to feel rested, and her hormones come back to a very, very normal way. So here we see that how many of us ask the mom that you're sleep deprived? The key thing to remember to recovery is sleep, and that too a 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. sleep is very important for any postnatal mom. The key thing to advise the mom is set a pattern of the baby or the breastfeeding time that the mom can actually take a nap between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. Right? Do we look at them with our eyes? Do we hear them out? Do we lend an ear to them? Do we also ask them to come for a check? How many of actually ask them to come to a healthcare provider and get a health check done? No? You do tell them. Whom do you ask them to go to?
I'm a physiotherapist myself. I always ask them. When I take the session as a childbirth educator, I always say, these would be the symptoms and how would you feel, especially giving a me time. I've always seen that problem is there, and even when you're at home, we are just stressed out with a lot of things, lot of digital, world, but they're not getting any time for themselves. Just the kid, diapers, breastfeeding, and nothing else.
Nothing else.
So always say, please take a me time. You are as beautiful as you were. You are a mother, but definitely you are a woman, and you should have your own time. I think that is important.
So how many of you have asked your clients to go and get assessed by a pelvic floor physiotherapist? Raise your hands. Really? Very good. How many of you asked them the basic question, have they resumed normal day-to-day activities without pain? Right. And you will keep counseling them that they need to take care of their health, which involves emotional health, mental health, physical health, and nutritional health. Right. Okay. Now the current state of postnatal checkups, which we have done a study on all hospitals and clinics presently in India, but since I worked in the UK, we do a thorough assessment there. We do a screening test for postnatal depression here. Right? We also converse on birth control and family planning. We check for healing the stitches, whether the stitches have been healed, in case if there has been a rupture, pap smear if needed. What has been missing here? What assessment we have not done here?
Abdominal wall.
Abdominal wall,
Kegel strength.
Kegel strength, pelvic floor strength.
Yeah.
What else?
Uterine prolapse.
Uterine prolapse. So everything which cascades and which will bring the women down morally, emotionally, and mentally, because that's a basic thing. Because we are just looking at women as bodies to deliver babies. Why are we looking at women as human? And humanity for women will come when we treat women as a human being who deserves a life just apart from giving birth.
I have a question. 12 a.m. to 7?
To 4 a.m.
Why is that? Because of
I'll come back to you. I will park the questions later on. So reimagine the postnatal checkup. So let's get every woman to be assessed individually by a physiotherapist or a pelvic floor physiotherapist. Midwives also can check on them and advise them adequately, prenatally and postnatally both. Very much important. Musculoskeletal assessments are very, very important. Every woman who's undergoing birth has to have all 4 positions. If her knee is not helping her, do you think her long sustained labor could help her? We need to get the muscle strength and look at factors around the hip to be balanced. Also look at specialities that is focusing on women to deliver without a rupture. Right? Positions, breathing technique, everything which go in sync with not causing any trauma during the birth. The new stages we check for physiotherapists are, we do the abdominal assessment, the pelvic floor assessment, we also do the bladder bowel functioning screening. Okay, and return to exercise and goal setting. How many of us are asking, have you gone back to exercise? Exercise doesn't mean going to the gym and doing a CrossFit all by themselves. You ask them to take an individual assessment because each body is different. Because everything will boil down to her mental health, which Francis will deal with. So let's start with A for apple, which is to tell the women your primary thing which is important is assessment, prenatally, postnatally, by somebody who understands your muscle strength, which involves any kind of strength. So also, the common question you can ask the women is, are you drinking? How much are you drinking? Because they say, I am peeing after my birth. I just keep peeing. So there's been women who is just like maybe 26 of years. She comes to me, I just can't return back to any form of activity because this is what is the problem. What is her natural goals in life now? She wants to lead an active life. But why are we devoiding of the natural things which she deserves? She needs to go back to her social activity, social life, every kind of responsibility she needs to take up, not just sit at home wearing a diaper. So we also address things like fecal incontinence. There have been women who are 50 to 60 years who are coming with undiagnosed cases of fecal leakage. People told it's all in her mind. She has been on antipsychotic drug for almost 15 years. On assessment by me, we find that the pelvic floor is not functional. What kind of emotional trauma has she undergone? The pelvic girdle pain, which many of you will see prenatally and postnatally. Your back pain and the mummy tummy pooch. How many of you keep asking, mummy tummy pooch? They keep going to the doctor, the gynecologist. The mummy tummy doesn't go away. What do we do? Nothing. Keep walking. Will it help? Some cases it can help, but if there has been some kind of a misalignment in your pelvis, it needs to be body aligned. Body work is needed. What do we see here? Flat tummy. Sag tummy. What is the term for it?
Abdominal diastasis.
Abdominal diastasis recti. So we have lovely muscles. Can everybody feel the muscles in the front? Right? How's it? Can you just poke your fingers?
Six-pack.
Six-pack abs? Right? They can go in. Right? But do you feel something just kind of not feel good? So imagine this is her first time mom. She's delivered one baby. She comes to the clinic and she wants to deliver the second baby. What will be your assessment for her? Will you want her to go for normal delivery with diastasis? What will you do for her? You do further examination? Craniosacral therapy?
Yes. Belly binding.
Belly binding. What else? So let's look what are the answers to it so that you really want her to go for. So my time, somebody's showing me the time out. So these are your two muscles right there in the center. During pregnancy, the baby is growing and your abdomen is growing. There's a separation in your fascia which separates your rectus abdominis. Anytime when you see a woman coming with this gap, the alarm bell should ring for you. It's not something which you can just let it go. Because I have seen women suffering with emotional trauma just because they suffered with this. Any undiagnosed musculoskeletal pain is all linked to diastasis recti. So it's a mysterious pain if I say. Okay, so how you test is, if you could lie down horizontally, you can come up and if somebody presses the belly button just above and below, you might see a gap which can be increased to 2 fingers to 3 to 4. Many of the times people and women have been advised to just undergo for surgery. But that's not the answer. That will not help you heal it permanently. As I told you, I just ran through
I'm
it.
sorry, but we really have to stop.
Just go and finish it off.
I'm really sorry, but we've really gone over the time here. And it means then that everybody won't get their time. And we have to leave this room at 6:30.
We have a fantastic film that we want to be able to see right to the end. So
I just last 4 slides, which I just want to mention.
I'm really sorry, please respect that you have gone over your time, and everybody needs to have the same amount of time. Because otherwise François won't get, and all the afternoon, people won't get the time that they need.
Thanks.
So thank you so much for coming. It's very, very interesting. It was so dense that this could take like a 3-hour workshop.
I think it was a new topic for everyone, I think.
Yes.
And we have heard about it and we have it.
I think we could really write a book on it, or a DVD that we could buy and then read it slowly and go into it. There's so much information there. So thank you very, very much. Very sorry about that.
I just want to get a message to them.
I know, but everybody has a message to get out, and we have to respect everybody's time. So thank you so much for coming. We look forward to learning much, much more about this, that's for sure. So.